Hey YouTube, weight loss surgery family, it's Sherry here, the real Share Bear, coming at you on Thursday, July 31st, 2014. Today is my 15 weeks post vertical sleeve gastrectomy surgery update. I had my surgery in Tijuana, Mexico back on April 17th, 2014 with Dr. Garcia. Let's do the stats real quick. My high weight was 353 pounds. Date of surgery, I was 333 pounds. Last week I came to you at 274 after a 3-pound loss last week. And this week I come to you at 272 for a 2-pound loss this week. Which I keep forgetting to say my weight loss totals. That makes 81 pounds since my high weight and 61 pounds since surgery, so I'm thrilled with those numbers. This week I went down as low as 270 pounds and I saw a little bit of regain. The only thing I know is I had a little bit of sweets one day this week. Of course, I tracked it and stayed within my totals, but it just seems like whenever I indulge in something with real sugar in it, it really seems to make me bounce back up. So that's the only thing I can say about that. But I'm glad to be down 2 more pounds this week. So I'm happy with those totals. 81 pounds total is crazy, and it seems like no one I see anymore doesn't notice, and some people are saying they hardly recognize me and stuff like that. I don't know about that. I think I've lost about 44% of my excess weight now, so 56% to go there. I've participated in my first 5K this past week. I forgot to mention it in last week's video, but some girls that I work with and I did a Neon Vibe 5K, which was in the dark with black lights. It was a lot of fun. I started out trying to jog it, but I felt a painful clicking in my knee, my left knee, and it kind of felt unstable, so I thought it best if I just speed walked. And I hadn't trained, I hadn't done the Couch to 5K training program either, so but it's definitely something that I'm going to keep on my radar and may start doing soon, depending on how that knee issue does. But there were hills involved in the 5K, and I had no problem keeping up with those, and it felt really good. I felt energized afterwards, so I was thrilled with that. Along those lines, there is a hike that my ex-husband and I went on back when Zach was just like 2 years old, and I was so out of shape. He had my son on his shoulders, and they had to wait on me for an extended period of time to catch up with him, and I've decided I'm going to go back and kick that thing's butt this weekend. Some girlfriends and I are going to go back to Abrams Falls, which is in Cades Cove. If anybody ever takes a trip to the Smoky Mountains, you should definitely go back in there. It's like a moderately difficult hike, they say, for athletes, so we'll see how I do. But you hike back in there several miles, and then there's a beautiful waterfall and like a lake where you can go swimming, and then you hike back out. So I'm excited to do that and really show it who's boss this time. So can't wait to do that this weekend. We took a trip to Townsend, Lisa and I did, with a couple of the kids this week, and had some NSVs, had a great time up there with them. We did some tubing down the river up there, and that was a lot of fun, just some quality time with the fam. And there was like a cliff type rock off to the side that was probably about 10-foot drop, and we saw some kids and their parents jumping and diving off of that, so it was in some deep water. And we stopped our rafts and we're just kind of hanging out, letting the kids jump off that rock. And it was like, I guess I must have had the fat girl mindset, because I hadn't really thought about climbing up there myself and doing it. But Rachel said, Share Bear, let's go up there, you do it with me. And at first I said no, and then I was like, what am I thinking? I can totally do that. So she and I climbed up there, and after a minute's hesitation, I jumped off of there, and it was a blast. So we did it a couple more times. So that was a big NSV, something I never would have done before. Not because I wasn't physically able, but because I would have been embarrassed to be jumping off of there with all my blubber bouncing, and I just didn't care. And it was a great time. I felt like I was a kid. So that was fun. And then we found this roller coaster that's actually carved in the mountain up there in Townsend. I didn't even know existed. It's just one freestanding roller coaster, and it takes you all the way up the side of the mountain, and then you, like, not free fall, but you use gravity, pulls you back down, and you have a break. And I posted some pictures on my Facebook of me. I took a selfie while I was on there, and it was just amazing. It's just so freeing to be able to do things without even thinking. Buckled the seatbelt on it, no problem. And so that's just part of enjoying life post VSG for me. And so I'm just enjoying all the activities I can. I think we're going to try stand-up paddleboarding soon. I know, I mean, I can't believe all this stuff that I'm doing, but yeah, they have stand-up paddleboarding downtown, I found out, on the river. So I'm going to take Rachel, and we're going to try that pretty soon. Also, we're going to do a whitewater rafting trip coming up with the family. So a lot of fun activities going to be going on, and I'm just taking it all in. I texted VSG Bobby and told him I'd love to surf with him and Katie VSG while we're at Obesity Help. So hopefully I'll be able to hook up with them and try that too, because why not? So Lisa decided she's going to go back to school online to pursue her bachelor's of nursing degree, and then her nurse practitioning degree. And she and I met in nursing school, and we were study buddies back then, and it helped us both a lot with going through school. So my knee-jerk reaction was, well, I'll do it with you. You know, we'll do it buddy style like we did before. And then I got to thinking, I'm not even quite halfway through this journey or adventure, whichever you prefer, and I really feel like I need to give it my all, in other words, and I don't need to be distracted by going to school. So I told her, just go ahead and start without me, and I will catch up once I get myself situated, and I've given myself the opportunity to get all this weight off and establish the new habits that are going to take me forward and never let me turn back. So I just thought that was worth noticing. I had a who am I moment this week when I tried on one of the dresses I was thinking about wearing to the Obesity Help Conference. I saw myself from the back, and the shape of my body just looks totally different, and it kind of knocked me off my feet for a second, just like, who is that? And it was just one of those jaw-dropping moments, because you see small changes in yourself, and your brain is able to take in certain parts of it, but I don't know, I think at certain points it just hits you differently, and I was just kind of flabbergasted, staring like, who is that person? I know a lot of people have talked about having those moments, and I hadn't really had one until then, so that was interesting. I kind of feel like there's two mindsets that you get into, and mine I'm keeping in, like, today, like focus on protein, water, exercise, vitamins, and getting enough rest, and repeat, protein, water, getting enough vitamins, getting enough rest, you know. And then there's like seeing the big picture of how things are changing overall for you. And sometimes you have to take a step back and look at how far you've come, and it will just blow your mind. This journey is a mind freak, for sure. So I've had a couple of moments where I've really thought about how I've changed as a person, and I'm never going back. That's all I can say. And I was talking to someone that would like to lose weight himself, and he said, well, if our bariatric surgeons get our insurance to cover it, and if this and that, then I'll consider it. And I said, if you're not ready to make the sacrifices it takes to do it, you're not ready. And he was talking about, I hear you can't drink alcohol, you can't drink beer, and I said, well, that's not true. You can drink a small amount of alcohol, not beer, because of the carbonation, but I said, until you're ready to make the sacrifices it takes, or do whatever it takes to have surgery, then that's how you know you're not ready yet. So I don't think he's ready. But I'll help anyone that I possibly can if they feel like they are ready. So that's just my thoughts on that. I wanted to give a shout out to Round Man Disappears. I heard you got your surgery date and your approval, man. So congratulations. You're kicking the ass of this weight loss game already, and I can't wait to see how you do once you've got your tool in place, man. So you rock. Fist bump for you. And a couple of people have asked me about my body shots, and I was going to do one real quick today, even though it's only been about 4 weeks since I did one. But since I'm in my gym clothes, I'm headed to the Y after this. I thought I'd go ahead and do one in form-fitting clothes so you all can see exactly where I'm at. So I'll go ahead and do that. That's where most of my weight still is that I've got to lose. So that's where I'm living, YouTube. So 2 weeks now till Obesity Help. I can't wait to meet whoever's gonna be there and spend some time with you guys one-on-one. And until next time, guys, just remember, this stuff works, but only if you do. Bye.